Hello, hello. May 29, 2024. I'm sorry, the cat's distracted me. Hello, babe. It's another day in our very, very insane, unfortunately violently insane world. Hope you're all doing okay. For sure. Hello, Blues du Jour, Sandra, Pilar, Gill, Alicia DeMoss. Thank you. Donnie, Analog Synth Player, Sunsets, Wonder Why. Andrew Cruz, Donna Davidson, Geofactor 3. Yeah, the thumbnail got people's attention. Good. Did I say hello, D-Moore? Hello. Christy Hazelwood, hey. Rage Against the Machine, Cecilia Amarati, Taylor Noose, Super Painting 62, T Lamb, thank you. Shout out to T Lamb. Thank you very much. And we have Sith Trish and Angelos and Kim Blanchard. Hi. Hi, everybody. Trying to pick my energy up. The exhaustion that I've been feeling has not been fun at all. Super Dave 44, Oracle 11, Jane Northrup, and Shauna. Sauna. Yeah. You go, Carol. Shauna. Hi. Okay. You notice how the supercells all line up? If you've been paying attention to my radar portion of the lives, we have an awful lot of supercell creation that, well, span like 1,000 miles. They're all in line. From southeast Colorado, reaching pretty close to North Dakota. And these supercells here in Texas, you're really having a very difficult time. Look at this. Look at the immediacy of these supercells igniting. That's what we get now. We don't get normal weather fronts with just, well, we're going to have some rain today. No, we get severe weather, we get severe thunderstorms with possible tornadic activity, baseball-size hail, flooding, flash floods, and everything is a supercell. Then you might have, normal rain around the supercells. But look at this. Here, southeast Texas, you got an awful lot of severe weather going on. And, well, West Texas, southwest Texas, an awful lot of severe weather, and this is not stopping. This is not stopping. So, once again, be safe, because let's just go through this forecast. But I have found, and I'll put the link in. The forecast might be right for about 24 hours. But these forecasts now change. They sure do. They don't know how to do 5-day forecasts anymore. They change. But here is the link, and you go to Tropical Tidbits and just click on the heading Forecast Models. You come to this forecast. This is the United States. And you can play it right out for, God, it goes about 2 weeks. But you can also just do 6-hour periods. Right? Okay. So here's the layup. And this is on May 30 at 6 in the morning. So this is tomorrow morning. You notice how the lineup is still pretty prominent? That's North Dakota, South Dakota, all right. But it also extends down into Texas. All right, so these supercells, if they do any damage, it'll be in the early morning hours, once again, right? The supercells that I just showed you, which are right here. And I'm hoping that they use the frequencies to annihilate some of these storms or weaken the storms. I'm not seeing that they're absolutely horrible right now. Well, horrible now. What's the definition of horrible? That a tornado is not racing through, destroying people's homes and businesses and lives. Yeah. But severe weather is coming back. It sure is. So this is May 30 at noon, tomorrow at noontime. This is at 6 p.m. You got a little, precipitation here in North Dakota and South Dakota and down into Kansas. But bada bing. Here we go. The severe weather comes back midnight Friday. Midnight Friday. Of course. Midnight, right? Thunderstorms used to come in late afternoon. Now they come anytime whatsoever. All right, so that is Oklahoma, kind of northeast Oklahoma. But wow. So Oklahoma and North Texas. You got an awful lot of severe weather coming. 6 o'clock from, let's see, 6 o'clock in the morning on Friday. Oklahoma, it's lasting until noontime. And a whole lot of rain in the Dallas, Fort Worth area of Texas, which, well, I'll show you what has been happening there. So I don't want to go any further because, yeah, you can check it out. I'll put the link in again. I think that you should bookmark these sites. You can check it out yourself. And just prepare for anything coming your way. So, I'm going to start here with Into Thin Air. Texas Next Red Raider tower caught during severe weather. I took a capture of this, but I can't show you because I no longer have a Windows media player that will work. That pisses me off. It no longer works. So let's watch Into Thin Air. And this was yesterday. And yeah, there was a lot of destructive weather in Texas once again.
All right, my friends, welcome back. Well, here it is again, right in your face. A Next Red tower in
Sorry, I just wanted to keep up to date with the chat.
Texas, clearly showing manipulation on two different weather radar. One showing the mosaic chart and the other one is AccuWeather. And people from this area have told me once this happened, insane weather began and then stopped immediately, almost as if this radar pulsed a storm into existence. Even different media outlets are now writing articles about our discoveries, trying to deter people away from this. This article actually secretly linked my YouTube channel in a hyperlink. Please share this video as this stuff is being heavily censored. We need to know what's going on. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. All right, my friends, welcome back. Well, here...
They're juicing these things up. You know, the supercharging of storms. You know, this has been going on for a very, very long time.
Even different media outlets are now writing articles about our discoveries, trying to deter people away from this. This article actually secretly linked my YouTube channel in a hyperlink. Please share this video as this stuff is being
It's true. And of course, they're saying that all of the Doppler radar, oh, this is just bugs and birds or bats, and they're back to that again. They did that years ago. The idiocy in our country is really getting to me. Sometimes it just really gets to me. I will post Into Thin Air's Twitter link for you all. There you go. So, incredible HAARP frequency waves over Ireland like I've never seen before. A real fishing life. Look at this. This is Ireland. Nice, huh?
Well, I must say I've never seen nothing like that is over my native country of Ireland. I am Irish and Norwegian.
And it went on from AM to PM, and it's not just affecting the atmosphere up there, but it's affecting all of the people as well. I have seen that, I can't say over Ireland, but I have sure seen these microwaves when it's blatant, obvious, and you can't even get adult conversation going with what you're looking at. The link is in the chat. And drone video shows aftermath of Mexico stage collapse after strong wind gusts.
Lo que vivimos fue una cosa de en unos cuantos segundos se viene un vendaval, un viento repentino y lamentablemente el viento derrumbó el escenario y pues sucedió un accidente.
Wind gusts. Wind gusts. They come about in seconds, killing 9 people. Shout out to Mama Rages as well. Thank you, my blue people, for showing up. I really, really appreciate it. And Turtle Tribal Nation, how are you doing today, Carol? A wee bit better than yesterday, but there's an exhaustion that I just can't seem to beat, and I'm getting really tired of it. Very tired of it. Alright, so into thin air again. Here, Ventu Sky. Very interesting. So when Into Thin Air shows this anomaly, Antarctic anomaly, Ventu Sky has decided to remove that portion of their site. No more looking at that.
What? You're not going to believe this one. It's May 27th, and Ventu Sky is going to delete its wave model because it cannot stand how much attention this is getting. This is insane. Listen to this. The National German Meteorological Service is once again facing issues with its wave model, which is showing incorrect values near Africa. Based on today's information, the DWD will withdraw and redesign the model. This is an unusual situation that requires cancellation of the entire forecasting model and the preparation of a new version. The MFWAM model from Metro France will replace the current model on the Ventu Sky platforms. Imagine that. Damage control, once again, we know what's going on here. This is coming as once again today the Antarctic anomaly showed up. This is the third time in 4 days that we caught this thing. And 2 days ago was a whole different anomaly. It looked like it had fingers. And you can see that one right here from 2 days ago. It had these straight lines going up, almost like frequency beams. And then a day and a half later, Ventu Sky is now going to completely remove this data. We didn't let them do that without letting them know that we know exactly what's going on. I replied to their post here. I'm sure they won't reply to me. They avoid me at all costs because the only thing they are acknowledging here is the funny part of this, that people were calling this a USO or some sort of UFO. That's the only thing that they talked about in their response. They laughed about it and completely neglected and gaslit me on my theory about what's going on here. And now they're removing the entire program. All right, my friends, this is crazy stuff. Please let them know that we know what's going on.
And the link is in the chat. Yeah, well, Hypocrite's Matrix. Find me berries that are ripe at this time of year and melons that are not genetically modified. I have a funny feeling that my stomach upset that it's better today than it was yesterday for sure, but I think it's the foods, the genetically modified foods catching up with us that causes an awful lot of issues, physical issues. And I don't eat crap, but I don't even know what the hell to eat anymore. Iceland volcano erupts again, forcing town of Grindavik and Blue Lagoon Spa to evacuate.
For a minute, some breaking news into Fox Weather. The Icelandic volcano near Grindavik, it's erupting once again. The town has evacuated its popular Blue Lagoon hot spring spa. Have you heard this before? Video shows the lava spewing into the sky as high as 165 feet. It's according to experts, the eruption was the 8th on the peninsula, home to some 30,000 people since 2021. So we're following the developments there.
So many people are displaced. Simmons fire grows to 400 acres, no containment. Arizona, about in between, actually, Tucson and Phoenix. More on the east side.
Simmons fire burning near the town of Kearney, which is south of Superior. Right now we know that 400 acres have burned, and sadly we're hearing that 2 homes have burned as well.
The fire caused the Riverside neighborhood area to evacuate last night. So take a look at these 2 videos because you're going to see here on the left, this is what the fire looked like last night. That's new chopper video of the Simmons fire from this morning on the other side to your right. So obviously this thing has grown. We're seeing lots of smoke in the air. Now take a look at this map because we want to give you some perspective on exactly where this fire is burning. As you can see, this is south of Superior along the Gila River. The fire is on both sides of State Route 177 between mileposts 153 and 147. We know the road was shut down for a little while. Gibby joins us live this morning in Kearney with the latest details. We know that road is back open, right, Gib?
Yeah, 177 is back open. Folks who wanted to get to and from the valley can use 177 to get to and from work. I know there's a working mine out here that they use to get to work as well. So 177 back open per ADOT. And we've moved on over to the school district office where we're going to get an update from the Pinal County Sheriff's Department here soon, as well as fire officials who tell us that today's winds and hot, dry conditions are a concern for firefighters. They do expect additional help coming in today, as well as a helicopter if needed. But right now,
does not look like a very big fire. All right, so I'm driving today, and on the radio, it's the local news report. They're talking about this fire. Oh, no, I'm sorry. They were talking about the Atlantic hurricanes are going to, well, like we've never seen before, right? Okay. Well, the effect of that will be less humidity in the Pacific. I'm listening to this and I'm thinking, are you kidding? Well, that sounds like manufactured storms, creating an awful lot of rain in one region, depriving the other region of its rain. But it said, they said that the monsoon rains in Arizona will be much weaker because of the hurricanes in the Atlantic affecting the Pacific, drying out the Pacific somehow, not having any real moisture coming from the Pacific into Arizona. So the monsoon rains won't be that bad in Arizona because they want to burn it up. Fires.
And we're on the edge of town. This is one of several roads where they're not letting anyone get closer to the town of Riverside because just on the other side of this hill, you can see the plume of smoke there through these trees. That's where crews have been fighting the fire all day long. We've seen them on the ground and by air, but they've been met by a few challenges, including the heat and the vegetation.
Once the temperatures start to rise and the relative humidity goes down, that fire is going to start waking up and start making some movement.
The Simmons fire is moving aggressively through the Gila River. Fueled by old salt cedar, the fire has burned through hundreds of acres and destroyed 2 Riverside homes. Officials say the priority is to keep the fire from moving into Kearney, a town of about 2,000 people. Structure protection groups are set up on the east and southeast sides of the fire. Fire crews say the west is more challenging to get to because of the thick vegetation. People living in the Riverside neighborhood remain on go evacuation status. People living between Riverside and Kearney, about 50 homes, are on set and should be ready to leave if ordered to do so.
I was grabbing all my neighbor's stuff, my dog, my company equipment, and just trying to move it out somewhere safe.
And the size of this fire looks like, you could dump, as the helicopters do, dump water on it, and we all know that they can actually create these supercells and bring about a whole lot of flooding in that area, but we have to be very quiet about that. That really upsets the liars and the acceptors of the lies. So let's just be quiet. I really hope that this gets brought under control.
In all county, the Simmons fire is burning near Kearney and is now at 475 acres. Over 100 personnel are actively working to put out the fire, but it is still at no containment. Pinal County Sheriff's deputies say anyone living in the area of Ray Junction Road, State Route 177 and Kearney city limits should also be prepared to leave if the fire keeps growing. It's destroyed at least 2 buildings, although it's unclear if these were homes or barns. State Route.
Oh, man. All right. So, how could fires light up in Cuba, Yucatan Peninsula, and the rest of Mexico at the exact same time? I will post the link to this. This is real fisherman's life. Real fishing life. And you can watch by clicking on the link. Fire destroys a historic church in North Texas.
Coming back.
Some things are just hard to believe. For Pastor Chris Everson, it's hard to see 120 years
Every Sunday morning
burn so quickly.
When I get here, I pray over the entire sanctuary, and we have a welcome flag that we put out here.
The historical First United Methodist Church
robe and stoles would be there.
Built in 1904, it's one of the oldest churches in Royce City.
Devastating. Absolutely devastating.
And on Tuesday morning, it was gutted by a fire. History, now burnt down to pieces of wood. Fire and city crews believe it was hit by lightning and then caught fire.
Within minutes, you had fire through the roof.
Flames so big.
Within minutes, you had flames through the roof. Lightning. Okay. Severe storms cause flooding in northeastern Colorado. Hail piles up on Greeley streets.
Continue to track, though, the latest after the severe storms in Greeley that Callie mentioned. This is video as we got as copter flew over Greeley from earlier this morning, flooding in multiple parts of the area, leaving cars stranded. Sizable hail also dropped in people's front yards.
And right now, your reporter Justin Adams is joining us live from Greeley. And Justin, we've been seeing all of that damage from above really all morning long, but what are you seeing right now on the ground there?
Well, Ashley, let me give you a ground view of what happened here from last night. You see this? It looks like snow. This is actually all the hail that
All right, so let's just move along to the flooding.
In northern Colorado, Greeley, they saw accumulating hail 4 to 6 inches deep. How big were the hailstones? 2 inches in diameter. That's the size of an egg. Now, our photographer Eddie Castro captured some of the aftermath this morning, but that's not all. In the video you're about to see, the CBS News helicopter ventured up north towards Greeley to really uncover the morning after the storms. Flooded roadways, people pushing cars through the water. It's a surreal scene that you're about to see.
Bring it on. You won't get a lot of play, national mainstream media, but people are being flooded out all over. Farms, ranches. And yes, Crystal Ingram, CC33, coincidence? Well, people think that I'm part of the elite, apparently. Yeah, because my name's Carol Clark. CC. Oh my God, 33. Jesus died at 33. Huh. Look at this flooding. It is remarkable what's going on in our country. That's from hail. More severe storms hit Texas. More people without power. You know what I didn't check out? The power site, the power outage, U.S. power outages. Oh, I just clicked off that video. Texas. Wow, a whopping 279,658 without power. Texas, you are really... I think that, you know, you have... You're in line to become number one. Louisiana and Texas, I think you guys, you know, the competition is stiff. But Jesus, every day in Texas, people are losing their homes. losing power. California, 17,763. It doesn't seem like it's moved much since yesterday. In Arkansas, 19,790. Kentucky, 13,979. And in Massachusetts, 12,870. What the hell happened in Massachusetts? I don't even know. But Texas, this was yesterday.
Oh, just north of leveling. Outflow boundary. And we got softballs. Here they come. Rolling on the ground. Big time softballs. Here they come. Big softballs. Here they come. Look at that huge elevated base. Textbook. Oh, they're coming in from the side, folks. Here it comes. Big milky skies. Big base. Giant milky skies. Here we go. Big base off to the right. About to get major softballs. Here they come. 4.5 inches. Here they come, folks. Bring the visor down. Whoa, look at the dust. Look at the dirt. Here it comes. Ah! We broke through. Ah! Ah! Back window. Ah! Ah!
I really have a hard time with this guy. Reed Timmer, meteorologist. Oh, gorilla hell. Oh, they love doing this. They're having so much fun. And he doesn't pay for any of this damage. And he's still driving really fast with baseballs coming at the car. Wow. 16-year-old construction worker killed. 4 others electrocuted in severe storms in Texas.
That tragic news out of Montgomery County, where a 16-year-old was killed during the storms. That teenage boy was working as part of a construction crew on Willow Heights Lane, just off of Egypt Lane in Magnolia. KPRC 2's Devin Clark was there all evening and kicks off our team coverage.
Definitely not the type of news you ever want to hear when we do get severe weather, but you can see the massive pile of debris left behind. What was supposed to be someone's home ended up being the place where a teenager lost his life while trying to build it.
There's a lot of wind and rain, and then it was like start like darkness, like the night.
Construction worker Christian Hernandez recalls the moments a severe storm rocked and knocked down a home being built across the street from the site where he was working.
We just hear a lot of noises, all the houses that are full.
Magnolia Fire Department officials and Montgomery County Sheriff's Office investigators say all of the workers who were inside the structure at the time were able to get out when it began to shake, except one.
He's in there because we just called like several times about his phone, and his phone is ringing.
We're told a 16-year-old boy working construction as a summer job was trapped under the debris and died. First responders had to think fast and work quickly to get his body out.
Firefighters had to...
All right, so the severe storm comes about that quickly. They were still working. This 16-year-old is still at a construction site when they have this kind of severe weather. It must have come out of the blue, which needs to be questioned. North Texas residents assess the damage after Tuesday morning storms.
Family of this Carrollton home came outside. They found 2x4s from their roof and shingles from the roof scattered in the front yard, and the roof itself off of the top of the house. They're calling this nothing short of a miracle because they had to do everything they could to stay safe. Esmerella Martinez showed us the damage throughout the inside of her Carrollton home, ripped apart during the early morning storm. They already had their safe spot picked out in case something like this ever happened.
Yeah, we were right here.
all of us.
The living room ceiling is completely gone. The floor stretching from the family room to the kitchen is covered with insulation. Most of their furniture is soaked from the rain. Normally, it's the alarm clock that wakes them up.
Wind wake us up this morning at 5:30 in the morning, and then it just started like a lot of wind and raining.
Esmeralda's neighbor, George Furlow, lives right next door. Although they have no severe damage, he knew the storm was real close.
It definitely sounded just louder. Again, I would never say, I know people say it sounds like a train. It probably wasn't a full train.
Storm damage isn't as bad at George's house for him and his family. So just like them, across the street, Javon Holloway and his grandmother are counting their blessings too.
I was like, well, we got a problem on our hands.
After the storm woke him up, Javon got a call from his grandmother who had already left for work. He explained the storm split one of their front yard trees in half. Part of the tree hit the roof, another part busted out a bedroom window. Javon could hear the storm taking out other trees in the front yard too.
So I thought it was like literally outside my window. I walk out, the glass is broken from the window, and then my neighbors over here helped me take the branch out.
Esmeralda and her neighbors are waiting to learn if it was more than just strong winds that left them with so much damage.
It was weather weapons. Dallas-Fort Worth storm damage, trailer damage in Dallas, across North Texas. That's why they have 279,000 plus without power.
Customers remain without electricity, and the utility company is warning it will take days to get everybody's power restored. Hello, I'm Steve Eager.
Hi, everybody. I'm Heather Hayes. So we could see more severe weather again overnight into tomorrow morning. So we're going to talk about that in just a minute. But first, let's talk about the power situation. Encore says the hurricane-force winds that in some cases lasted half an hour caused widespread damage to transmission lines. The utility company now requesting help from other states to repair and in some cases rebuild power lines. Some of the most extensive tree and roof damage we've seen is in Garland, Northeast Dallas, and into Kaufman County.
Dallas County, as you might expect, has the most customers without power by far, followed by Collin, Tarrant, and Denton counties. Nearly half of all customers in Rockwall and Kaufman counties have no power. But the numbers are improving. At its worst, there were more than 640,000 Encore customers with no power. Dallas County Judge Clay Jenkins issued a disaster declaration to help protect property and possibly get federal assistance for storm victims.
And he said there is no plan for a curfew, but neighborhoods with a lot of damage and power outages can expect to see more law enforcement. Fox 4's Alex Boyer in Dallas with more. Alex.
Hey guys, you know, we've been driving around Dallas all day long, and really the bulk of the damage we've seen has been the result of downed trees like the one you see here behind me. Now, of course, as you mentioned, the damage across Dallas County is more widespread. As a result of that, thousands of people are still without power as of this afternoon, and Dallas County Judge Clay Jenkins says it could be a couple of days before pounding wind and rain.
It was unbelievable. The winds were crazy. Yeah. Unbelievable.
Amanda Mursky's Range Rover was buried underneath this giant tree that was uprooted by the fast-moving straight-line winds. It was parked in the driveway of her daughter's home.
I just said, "Don't worry about it. Are you okay?" And she said yes. So it's just a vehicle. It's okay.
By early afternoon, workers were able to uncover the car. Mursky believes it's a total loss. The wind! Dallas Fire Rescue said the strong winds blew part of the roof off of this building on Harry Hines Boulevard. No one was injured, but debris was scattered across the parking lot.
Moments ago, I signed a declaration.
Are you getting that this is happening every single day? Every friggin' day. Every day. Every day. People are losing their homes. Texas, every day. You know, since I left Texas, the flooding that was occurring as I just arrived in Texas, I wake up in the morning and voila, the floods come. And it's been a flippin' nightmare for a whole lot in the Houston area, and then in pockets up north, Dallas, Lubbock, which I mentioned last night, looking at the radar, and I said, this looks like the Lubbock area. And I know Lubbock. I don't know it, but I know it because of doing this for so long. Lubbock gets hit a lot. Lubbock is also one of the areas that the Texas Weather Modification Association conducts weather modification projects. They call them projects. So, every day, people are losing their homes. People are losing power. People are losing lives. And people are getting displaced. Garland residents describe waking up to the sound of falling trees.
Yeah, Doug, here in Garland, there's a lot of cleanup left to get through today. And this neighborhood in Garland is no exception to that. Take a look behind me. This is literally a carport that was once on this side of the driveway. As you can see, it is shifted over. The storm literally throwing it on top of Rob Solver's home. And so you can actually see crews over here trying to get down trees off of Rob's home. That has been the case all day today. They've been working hard, and really this has been the scene across Garland today. The heavy winds last night definitely leaving their mark on this town.
It was just like boom, boom. It was pretty scary.
Residents in Garland waking up to trees and branches littering their streets and yards, and in Randy Phipp's case, on top of his home.
The ceiling, the rafters, the joists, everything came down in there. There's water running through there like a river.
Dulce Ochoa documenting the terrifying night on social media.
My neighbor's house was destroyed.
A fallen tree becoming her alarm clock.
Look at how close it came to my bedroom window. I sleep right there.
We felt it, we heard it, like the whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. You can feel the house just rocking. It takes the breath out of your lungs, just the fear of
having no control.
This is it.
And all over Garland, there are down power lines and traffic signals. But in the wake of the deadly tornadoes north of the metro this weekend, Ochoa is thankful this storm wasn't worse.
Oh my God. Okay, I'm going to say it again. You cannot count on YouTube notifications. Christopher James. YouTube never notifies me when you go live. They won't. Okay, so you don't have to search for me. You can bookmark my channel. And I'm quite consistent in the time that I go live every day at 5 o'clock. So if you bookmark, you don't have to rely on YouTube notifying you. You bookmark my channel, and you just, voila, 5 o'clock, you come on, I come on, everything's rosy. Severe storm. I mean, this is, it's really, it is, okay. And we got more supercells activated in the southeast of Texas as I speak. Right? And I lost my, oh, there it is. My pointer. Oh, man. Okay. Houston customer charged for electricity use despite being without power for days. Oh. Oh, it never rains in California. I'm so tired. It's unbelievable. We're being so ripped off.
lights, no air conditioning, no nothing. If you were one of the 900,000 people who lost power for several days this month, you might expect your next electricity bill to be slightly lower than normal.
Yeah, well, one man in the Heights called us when he noticed on his account that he was using electricity on days when it was impossible. Amy Davis is here to show you how to check your own account. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, guys. I mean, this was really interesting. We've seen a lot of people posting about this. You might not know this, but your electric meter that's outside your home is a smart meter. You can sign up to get notifications that tell you exactly how much electricity you are using each day. And Craig Walcott, he's been getting those messages for more than a decade now. It wasn't until last week that he realized something was way off.
Beginning late Thursday evening when high winds knocked trees into power lines all over the Heights until Saturday evening, homeowner Craig Wolcott was in the dark.
The meters were dead. I mean, nothing had power here.
I mean, it was lights out.
Correct.
Dark.
Correct.
You're not running anything.
Absolutely nothing.
When CenterPoint restored his power, he found these messages from Smart Meter Texas, showing that on Friday he used 22.23 kilowatts of power. And on Saturday, it shows he used 17 kilowatts.
That's when I realized, okay, something's not correct here.
He called his electric provider, Jexa Energy.
They basically just said, we have nothing to do with that. We just bill for what we're told you use.
CenterPoint, that owns the lines and meters, is the company who tells your electric provider how much electricity you've used. They also keep an hour-by-hour real-time record of your usage online. And it shows Wolcott used power all day long on Friday. But when he called CenterPoint to ask what the heck was happening, a customer service representative told him it could take 2 weeks for someone to come check his meter.
But I expect you to contact my energy company and notify them that on these 2 days, you're reporting inaccurate information. And she flat out said, we will not do that.
Are you guys hearing these same complaints as well? Let's go up a bit higher.
We will correct that. We ask the customers, rest assured, we will make sure that that gets corrected.
This is Alicia Oshodi with CenterPoint Corporate. She says the Smart Meter Texas website and CenterPoint are automatically populated with usage data from your meter. And when there's no power to allow the meter to communicate, the systems populate with estimated usage automatically.
We ask that customers wait several days, because what will happen is the system will go back and basically interrogate the data and be able to get the correct, in this case, no usage that actually occurred.
Ow! Why do we have to wait several days to let the system catch up to do its investigation, find out how much electricity was used? And in this case, no electricity was used because the power was completely out. I just want to go back to the old ways. I really do. Analog. Not meters that make you sick, drain your energy, give you headaches, stroke, heart attacks, heart palpitations. So climate change is going to have a long-term economic impact. Climate change, that's when it gets hot. Well, it has an effect on the economy. So that's why our economy is tanking. Not so secretly electrifying the air and radio frequency DUI. Part 2. And I will post the link to look out for Charlie's video. Yeah, there's an awful lot of energy, dirty electricity, carrying frequencies into people's homes. Yes, I'm sorry to sound like I'm just bored, but I am. I have a hard time with the same old, same old. But
we live
Check out
in.
this
It's
video.
not just
And interesting that people were able to access some of the electricity that was flying off these oh God, no, I can't even think of what they're called. Alrighty. My brain is going. And the courts have said, well, electricity companies were bringing the people who were able to access free electricity. And the courts all, each time there was a lawsuit brought, the courts have said, if they're smart enough to, get that free electricity, you don't have a right, because it was electricity that you're not using, but they were able to access the excess, and the court said, no, you're not going to sue them and make them pay. That was cool to hear, and that's in this video. I'm sorry, I'm really kind of out of it. So, having kids may shorten a man's life. Did you know that? Yeah. Having children will shorten a man's life. It's a groundbreaking new study. It reveals that fatherhood may take an alarming toll on men's heart health as they get older. They are giving heart conditions the reason for so many having heart conditions. Oh my God, the reasons just keep adding up. But now, men don't have children because they're gonna make you sick, okay? They're too much trouble. They're gonna give you heart. Your heart's gonna hurt. Stay away from that. Holy shit. Oh God. Alright, so the Disinformation Chronicle. The British Medical Journal slaps down Scientific American's Laura Helmuth for unscientific trans activism. This nutcase. Helmuth compared concerns with placing children on puberty blockers to unfounded fears over comic books and rap music. Brilliant! Editor-in-Chief, Scientific American. In a shot across the bow against Scientific American's continued descent into unscientific twaddle, the British Medical Journal investigation documented over a dozen social media posts by editor-in-chief. Oh, I've got such an important job, and, well, it's Scientific American, so I'm really, really smart. No, you're just corrupt. You have no moral core, and you're lying through your teeth. Editor-in-Chief Laura Helmuth, promoting transgender care for children, despite scientific evidence showing such treatment has had devastating consequences for minors. I'll post the link if anybody wants to circulate it. Oh, we've got so many Laura Helmuths. So many. I don't know what to do about this. So let's just put it off to the end. Yeah. All right. So, actually, it wasn't supposed to be there. Did you like that smooth segue? I don't know what to do with this, so let's just put it off until the end. It wasn't supposed to be there. Little disorganization that you're seeing. Miami closes down Biscayne Bay Islands due to trash being left behind. Do you know how many beaches and parks are being closed down all over our country?
Today, the city of Miami forced to take drastic action and temporarily close down all 4 of its spoil islands in Biscayne Bay because of the enormous amount of trash and litter visitors constantly leave behind.
Yeah, for years, community activists have been pleading with boaters to properly dispose of the trash they create back on land and not leave any garbage on the islands. The city even launched a brand new campaign last weekend telling boaters to leave no trace. Here's tonight's Don't Trash Our Treasure.
I already see piles everywhere.
This is the aftermath of last weekend's boater activity on Pace Picnic Island, just a day after City of Miami activated its new Leave No Trace policy.
We're gonna take care of our trash, right? Yeah.
Bright and early Saturday morning, city leaders gathered at Morningside Park for the official launch of the new campaign.
Leave no trace is just the simplest form of civility. It simply says, pick up your trash. That's it.
Informing all boaters and visitors to City of Miami spoil islands on Biscayne Bay that they must pack in and pack out whatever trash they make while enjoying and dispose of it back on land.
Leave no trace is already implemented in the national parks. People already know that whatever you pack in, you pack out, which simply means you don't litter, you don't leave your trash behind. That's just common human decency.
The city forced to address the issue because the enormous amount of trash boaters regularly leave on the islands has become unmanageable, 120,000 pounds a year. Miami Mayor Francis Suarez says boaters need to step up.
If you want to continue to enjoy the waterways, if you want to continue to have the same fun that you're having, you've got to take care of it.
Up until now, trash pickup on city-managed islands only happened once a week. But after one day of boaters recreating here, the bins are already overflowing. So people make piles of garbage all around, oblivious to the impact their reckless behavior is making.
Yeah, it pisses me off. It pisses me off. I mean, people who have no respect, for other people, for the animals, for the environment. It really pisses me off. I don't get it. But let someone else clean it up. Someone else will do it. It's the American way. Investigation into massive bank explosion. Did you hear about this? Chase Bank exploding in Ohio, 1 dead.
Now, the deadly bank explosion in Ohio. Stephanie Ramos is on the scene in Youngstown, Ohio, with the latest on the investigation. Good morning to you, Stephanie.
Robin, good morning. The explosion happened at the building behind me. It blew glass and debris all over this area. Look at this mangled mess. That was a Chase Bank. Police say several injuries have been reported, including 1 death.
This morning, authorities are trying to figure out what caused an explosion in the middle of downtown Youngstown, Ohio.
I was coming down and I heard a huge explosion. I saw smoke.
The blast happened Tuesday afternoon at this 12-story apartment building that includes a Chase Bank on the street level. Emergency responders racing to the scene.
My firefighters went floor by floor, clearing that building to ensure that no one else was in that building and no one else was hurt.
Overnight, first responders were covering the body of a 27-year-old man who worked at the Chase Bank. Police say 7 people were taken to the hospital, one of them in critical condition.
We have no idea what caused the explosion. We know it did a lot of damage to the bottom of the building.
Ron Flaviano was working nearby when he witnessed the explosion, capturing the aftermath on camera moments later.
You see explosions on TV, and all I could think of was 9/11 with the smoke and the dust and everything, just on a much smaller scale. It was just glass.
And this is in the Senate chambers. And, yeah. Listen up.
Thank you, Senator. Senator Eggman.
Thank you, Mr. President. And
I can't hear the name. Can you?
Thank you, Senator. Senator Eggman.
Sounds like Senator Eggman. I don't know.
Thank you, Mr. President and members. I'd like to say, as a as a progressive, proud member of this body for the last 12 years, I'm done. I'm done with us protecting people who would buy and abuse our children. I'm done. I don't want to send more black and brown men to prison. I don't want more people in prison, but I don't want people buying girls. I don't want people buying little girls anymore. And I'm tired of saying it's okay and that we have to protect the men who do it. As a mental health professional and as a social worker, I can tell you I've spent my entire career working with people who have been wounded. I'm not going to say beyond repair, but they have been wounded to their core by the abuse that's been heaped on them, oftentimes by those that they love and look to protect them. And if their parents won't do it, then by God, we should. Again, I am not arguing that we open the gates to flood our prisons with people, but I am arguing that we have a moral responsibility to say enough. Enough. We have given away enough on this area, and we've got to move back into the center, or we all look like fools and laughing stocks. And what do we stand for? I asked all of you to watch the documentary that Senator Grove was in, Senator from Kern County was just in, that talked about this very place in Sacramento where girls are being bought and sold. Men are being given a slap in the hand or a couple days, and then they're back out again, and they do the same thing. They get caught over and over and over again, and somehow that's okay. It's not okay. It is not okay anymore. And no more am I watching. Like I said, I'm leaving, but the rest of you who are going to be here for a while, let's get our stuff together and really start focusing on some of the important things. We talk about learning and we talk about being safe. This is like at the core of it. And a lot of these kids can be throwaway kids. They're poor kids. They're kids of color. But they shouldn't have to live a life determined by what happens to them by others at a very young age and by have the Democratic Party of California say it's okay. It's not okay. And I'm not doing it anymore, and I hope none of you do too. We have to be able to draw a line, and for me, I'm drawing a line. I urge your aye vote.
Thank you, Senator Eggman.
Wow. Not sure I've heard someone since the senator in Georgia. And I feel absolutely awful that I can't remember her name, who was murdered along with her husband for speaking out about CPS, the child trafficking that our fabulous CPS, Child Protective Services, does. She was murdered. I can see her face. Such courage. But I haven't heard anyone in chambers speak up for the children. Nancy, I feel like I'm dishonoring her. Someone's going to put it in the chat, I'm sure. Kim Blanchard, thank you. Nancy Schaefer. Yes. Do you have a line? Do you have a line? Do you have a principle that you would die for? That you just can't give up and you have to live it? Do you have that? When I talk to people, throughout my life, nobody has any principles that they can think of. Have a fight? The hill that you'll die on? Anyone? City of Tempe, Arizona, takes man to court over feeding people who are homeless.
2 at 10, a Valley man who runs a nonprofit that helps people experiencing homelessness is now in a showdown with the city of Tempe. Austin Davis founded an organization called AZ Hugs, and every Sunday he organizes a picnic to provide food to those who need it. But the city says his picnics aren't allowed. Team 12's Bianca Bono is live in Tempe where those picnics are held. And Bianca, this is unbelievable. He's trying to do a good thing, but now is he in legal trouble because of this?
He is, Mark. Davis faces fines, even imprisonment, after the city charged him with violating its special permits ordinance. But Davis tells me it won't stop him. They say no good deed goes unpunished. And as Austin Davis has learned, good deeds done without a permit will land you in court.
Take each challenge as it comes.
Davis started the organization AZ Hugs as a student at ASU back in 2020 after discovering Tempe's homeless population near the river bottom.
More people than I thought were saying Sunday is my least favorite day of the week because it reminds me I used to have dinner with my mom or used to take the kids to the park.
So Davis decided to organize Sunday picnics, giving out food and water.
March 2022, I got Neighborhood Event of the Year award from the city of Tempe for the picnic. And then shortly thereafter, they were like, actually, nope, you got to get a permit.
A city spokesperson declined 12 News interview requests due to pending litigation, but pointed us to a statement from January saying Davis's picnics, which draw as many as 150 people, violate city code and require a permit. Adding they've received complaints from neighbors about excessive trash and drug paraphernalia. In December, Davis applied for that permit, but he was told he'd have to pause his picnics during the 60-day review process.
Do we continue serving food? Do we not? And it was a really easy decision to make.
After opting to continue his picnics, the city denied his permit request and charged him with multiple misdemeanors, dismissing most without prejudice, but holding on to one charge, which Davis has been appearing in court to address, a charge that has a penalty of up to $2,500 in fines and up to 6 months behind bars. In the January statement, a spokesperson said the city of Tempe admires the compassion that goes into helping people who are unsheltered, but charitable food events must follow the same rules as other Tempe events open to the public.
It's not open to the public. You have to apply for AZ Hugs family membership.
Davis is due back in court in June, but he has a message for city leaders now, inviting them to one of the Sunday picnics, hoping they'll come to the table and compromise.
Let's figure out how to work together to take care of this population.
And the city says the latest point-in-time count done by Maricopa County shows that Tempe's homeless population has decreased by 34% compared to last year. We're live in
Maricopa County, incredibly corrupt. Do the people of Arizona need to stand up and change things to make it a better state? Yeah. Will they? No. Nikki Haley writes, finish them on an Israeli, is it an Israeli bomb or is it an American bomb? Nikki Haley. We've got a lot of sick, mother effers. We've got a lot of sick, psychopathic people in our country. Finish them. Writing on a bomb. I posted a video, and God, it must be like 10, 11, 12 years ago. Are bombing jets, whatever they were, with messages on the outside of the jets, Jesus, some Christian messages, dropping bombs, Iraq. Yeah.
said, finish them. They need to finish Hamas. Don't stop until they finish. But also make sure that that security is intact so that it never happens again from Hamas or anybody else. And so I will always put...
Have you ever looked into how that happened? The Israeli border, that was so, wow. They had security like none other. How did it happen, Nikki? These people, man. Sick. Morally decrepit. You know. War pig. Not a pig. Pigs are great animals. Gotta think of something else. A war psychopath. I mean, this woman does no good. No good for the world. None. God. Mexicans protesting Israel's assault on Rafah. Clash with police.
I'm out here at the Israeli embassy in Mexico City because I'm outraged by months and months of death and destruction and murder of the Palestinian people in Gaza. And my heart has been especially broken into a million pieces by what's happening in Rafah.
Palestina vencerá, a romper relación con Israel. Espera pagará. Los palestinos que asesinaste no morirán, no morirán.
Porque el día de hoy es un día negro. Las últimas horas lo que pues nos han traído es esta idea de que la barbarie puede llegar al mundo, de que no hay lugar seguro.
Así es, Said, pues se ha incrementado muchísimo el nivel de esta manifestación, de esta protesta, y también la forma en la que estos elementos de seguridad están tratando de contener a estos manifestantes, quienes ya incluso, como vimos en las imágenes, pues ya aventaron incluso fuego, empezaron a incendiar algunos objetos y aventarlos contra estos elementos para poder tratar, pues para intentar tratar más bien quitar esta valla que estos mismos elementos están haciendo. Han estado tratando de quitar las vallas, lo cual hasta el momento no han logrado y bueno, afortunadamente hasta el momento no tenemos reporte de alguna persona lesionada. Sin embargo, se han aventado piedras también, Said, incluso, lo cual pues ha estado muy peligroso tanto para los elementos que están resguardando la zona como...
So I'm listening to the only channel I get on my car radio where I am here is NPR. So I listen to it. And they're talking about this pier. And NPR actually admitted that the aid that we keep claiming that that's the reason for the pier to bring aid to Gazans. Well, we ship over the weapons to Israelis and then we bring aid to Gazans? Really? That's pretty sick. That's quite the policy. Okay, our weapons kill them, but NPR admitted that there were very, very few trucks filled with the aid going to these Gazans. We can't believe anything coming from government. So, yeah, it broke apart and it's out of commission indefinitely after a series of problems and setbacks, its latest being inclement weather and heavy seas literally broke it apart, bringing to an end the short-lived American-led effort to establish a maritime humanitarian aid corridor to reach Gazans. I guess we just don't have the power with the Israeli government, to drop aid. Oh wait, we did try that, and then the Israelis, the IDF, with their snipers, killed those running for the aid that was dropped from planes. Okay, well. U.S.-made bombs used in deadly strike on Rafah tent camp. And I'm sure Nikki, one of those bombs that she signed, finish them. Finished women and children. Turkey's Erdogan calls on Islamic world to take action over Gaza. So I mentioned something about this in the live last night. And yeah, I have some words to say to the Islamic world. What are you waiting for to take a common decision, or to make a common decision? Erdogan told lawmakers, adding that Israel is not just a threat to Gaza, but to all of humanity. And that is exactly what's going on. Not just to Gazans, but to Jews all over the world. Israelis in Israel. And to all of us. Americans for sure, because we're I have to say that probably the most evil countries, U.S. and Israel. And then there's UK and France, but U.S. and Israel, top tier, standing side by side. Rioters set fire to Israeli embassy. And Israel sees 7 more months of fighting to defeat Hamas. So this I also heard in my car, NPR News. So it's just going to go on and on and on until someone stops it. We ain't going to stop it. We're too psychopathic to do anything good. But I think some nations might just get really done with the evil. Maybe that's part of the script for the New World Order. Who the hell knows? But where this is going, it's not good for anyone. And that it just continues every single day, it's not good for anyone. Trouble in paradise. Zelensky insults Biden over absence at peace summit. Peace summit. A peace summit? A peace summit in Switzerland. Yeah. So there's a major Ukraine-backed peace summit in Switzerland set for next month, and it's looking very unlikely that Biden will attend, leaving Zelensky deeply unhappy. They're having a peace summit without Putin. Well, nobody's been invited from Russia. Okay, you go. You go, boys. I'm sure that's going to be fun. Kremlin claims NATO training for nuclear strike on Russian territory. Okay. So, that may very well be the case. We have so many things that could be happening imminently. Imminently. Now, this is interesting. Kim Jong-un, North Korea, sends hundreds of shit-filled balloons into South Korea. Didn't I say something about government officials and world leaders? They've kind of gone berserk. Some of them with the word excrement written on them. The balloons were loaded with feces and other rubbish as they drifted over the heavily fortified border. Seoul released photos of the aftermath of some balloons having popped on city streets, releasing their foul contents all over heavily trafficked streets. Okay. We sternly warned the North to immediately stop its inhumane and low-class actions. I'd rather have those bombs dropped. Wouldn't you? Well, both sides have long used balloons to physically transport propaganda messages to the other side. Statement by North Korea forewarned that mounds of waste paper and filth would soon be sent to the South as tit-for-tat action, after dirty things were previously flown into the North. Hazmat teams have been deployed to deal with it. I can't even go there. Who gives a shit what they say? We do know that they're just lying sacks of shit, right? Right? You gotta be a liar today to have any kind of success. A scammer, a liar, a bootlicker, you just... This guy is so... Well, John Kirby. Alright, I can't. Doesn't matter. Strike killed 2 Hamas leaders, but killed over 45 innocent civilians, women and children. Finish them. Nikki Haley. Finish them. She apparently doesn't care about all of the children being killed, maimed. How can anyone sit back and allow this to go on? How could anybody support it? But how could anyone allow Nikki Haley anywhere near them? The stench of her moral character follows her. Kind of like a North Korean balloon. So, bear attacks Arizona teen watching TV inside in his cabin.
But first, we are hearing from the family of a teenager attacked by a bear. It happened this week in Alpine in eastern Arizona. The 15-year-old was sitting in a cabin when the bear attacked him from behind, and he's lucky to be alive. Fox 10's Kenzie Beach joins us with more. Kenzie.
Yeah, Brian, the mother of 5 tells me that both of her children are alive tonight because her 18-year-old son's bravery saving his younger brother from the bear. It all happened in Alpine on Thursday, a special place for the Hawkins family.
Yeah, my kids used to joke how they'd rather go up to the mountains than go to Disneyland. They love it there.
Generations of cattle ranchers. The Hawkins family has spent decades in Alpine.
From when I was a girl, I don't remember ever not going up there in the summer. So my whole life, building fences and doing things like that. It's been a tradition.
After a long day of fishing, 15-year-old Brigham was ready to relax, heading to the bunkhouse to watch TV. The rest of his family in the cabin, just about 20 feet away.
A bear came in to the cabin, and from behind the couch, he, from what we're piecing together, came and scratched his face, just swatted and scratched his face.
With Brigham's rare genetic disorder, Carol says his siblings have always looked out for him.
He starts screaming. Had to hear him. He said it wasn't even loud, and he wasn't even sure it was him, but he felt like he needed to go check on him, and he thought it was a dog. He thought it was a really large dog.
But Arizona Game and Fish warns bears are unpredictable and even deadly. Just last June, a black bear killed a 66-year-old man near Prescott, entering the campsite in an unprovoked attack. Quick thinking here from Brigham's older brother may have saved his life.
When he got there, the bear turned around and saw him and started chasing him.
Brigham, left with cuts on his face and arms, was able to escape with the help of his dad, his older brother outrunning the bear.
No matter.
Wow. You think you're safe. You're just watching TV in a living room, and you get attacked by a bear. Houston customer charged. Oh, I showed you that already. Okay. And so much, man. Ohio Village comes under fire. I'm sorry, I was a little distracted because I heard what I thought was kind of like a screaming noise, but I think it's the TV out there. Okay. Sorry. Let's move on. Ohio Village comes under fire after new mayor calls into question the town's transparency. Look, I'm just going to link to this if you want to watch it. I really want to get to, because I feel like I'm just fading here. So deputies warning residents to check their property for hidden cameras, potential dry runs on bases. This is Dabu, and
hey, what's going on, guys? D7 here on Surviving End Times again. I wanted to discuss this warning being put out by deputies and dive into some of these instances here where homes are being watched by someone. And we just got done talking about how these illegals are coming in. They're going up to bases 2 or 3 times a week, military bases here in this country. They're turning them away. They had a confrontation at one of our lead Army guys' houses in North Carolina where he confronted them and shot and killed one of them. We had another incident where they tried to run into a Marine base in a box truck. They said this could be a potential dry run. A potential dry run for something bigger. All these things going into motion at the same time. And they're now stating that they're discovering homes with cameras being put up around them in many different areas. Like many different towns are reporting this. We have deputies specifically out of Southern California or out of the California region warning, telling folks that, look, you need to watch out. This looks like it's like an international operation here, whether it's connected to people wanting to do bad things or just rob you or whatever else. They're scouting people's homes out, and they're finding these cameras with battery packs and with camouflage on them. They've actually found them at homes, in people's flower bushes. And we've seen how these people are showing up, and they're sitting on the edge of the property lines, and they're filming like they were in North Carolina. So this is a bunch of ongoing stuff. And now this new alert, trying to warn people, hey, there's a group of people out here, someone that is taking it to this level where they're surveilling people's homes and their property. So, for whatever it's worth, you know, these things are like red flags. We should pay attention. If you guys come across anything like this, let me know. Dabu7.
And he's right. Everybody should be regularly checking their property. Everyone. And looking in places where you know that, well, you should not be able to find anything. But yeah, you should be checking and looking for anything, especially cameras, because I've shown on live streams where people are finding cameras around their property. Worse since the Great Recession. Dallas Fed survey. Slumps in May as respondents fear inflation is getting pretty scary. I had to go shopping today. It is getting quite scary. That's quite right.
Have your food, energy, and shelter prices gone up in the last while? Well, you're not alone. Everybody seems to be experiencing the same thing. And in today's video, I'm going to show you, number one, where that's affecting people the most. I'm going to give you the details of where this is all coming from and how we've come to this place. You came here for the truth, so let me unveil that for you. Today, we are going to look first at the income a family needs to live comfortably in the United States. And of course, you can see if you're in California, it's a very different picture from some of the other states. If you live in New York, same deal. Understand that, of course, there are salaries and there are always going to be expenses, and they sometimes level out, but for some people, they can't take it anymore. They are up to the gills in expenses, and they are starting an internal migration we haven't seen in a very long time. So you could look at this right here. The darker the color, the more expensive it is.
I'll post the link. The Money GPS. I recommend you check them out. Things are getting really unbelievably, well, a whole lot of people are not making this. Family of 4, Colorado, $265,000. Texas, $201,000. Even South Carolina. Wow, same as Texas. Holy shit. That's scary. South Carolina was a really cheap state to live in. So, it looks like the cheapest is Mississippi, then Arkansas. Alright, want to point out, now may be the time to get out of the stock market. I will post the link to Gregory Mannarino's video today. Never have I seen a title such as that for Greg's videos. If you are a player in the stock market, I suggest you listen. Here's another video that he posted today. After that one, MMRI has hit red zone. This could get very bad very fast. Okay, the link is in the chat. And forget about next year, which a lot of people are kind of speculating that the economy is going to crash in 2025. People are saying that this could very well go down real soon. So here, entire financial system can go down soon. Chris Martenson has a new warning about a new kind of fraud that could leave you broke in the next financial disaster. Martenson thinks financial trouble of biblical proportions could be coming sooner than most people think. He's not worried about a brokerage going under like Lehman Brothers, and that's a walk in the park compared to what we are looking at. He's worried about the entire system melting down and says when the system freezes up, they get really scared. If you are not a complete moron, you could make that system smaller because it scared you that much, but instead they made it even bigger. All right, what he's... I'll post the link to this. You can watch the interview or read the article, but things are not... Yeah, I mean, I think he's quite right in terms of they're going to blow up the system for the central bank digital currency. And that's going to hurt everyone. A dying empire led by bad people. Young voters despairing over U.S. politics. Young voters overwhelmingly believe that almost all politicians are corrupt and that the country will end up worse off than when they were born. And the author of this article thinks they have a sour mood. I don't. I think they're thinking realistically. They see what is happening. It is their experience. It's a sour experience handed over to them by the fabulous adults, the generation before them. 49% agreed to some extent that elections in the country don't represent people like them. 51% agreed to some extent that the political system in the U.S. doesn't work for people like me. And 64% backed the statement that America is in decline. A whopping 65% agreed, either strongly or somewhat, that nearly all politicians are corrupt and make money from their political power. Only 7% disagreed. It's obvious, it's in our face, and we do nothing about it. We just let them enrich themselves day after day after day. And what, we pretend they represent us? There's a dance between government and the people, and we're just swinging. We are swinging with them. Young voters do not look at our politics and see any good guys. They see a dying empire led by bad people. And they're absolutely friggin' right. Right. Okay. I have to go. I have no energy. I've been depleted. I'm a robot. I have to plug myself in. Oh. I think I'm going to struggle with this heat. It's only May. Well, it's the end of May. But yeah, I think this is definitely not what I'm... Oh, good. Lady J. Umstead. Gotta feed the baby raccoon. Good that you found. So, yeah, gotta live honestly and you gotta speak honestly, and if you can't do that, then you are so a part of the problem. Sorry to tell you. I'm just going to say be safe. I want to take a look at radar again. They are getting rid of some of these. Good. See the extremely low frequencies hitting this? And now they have disbanded some of those supercells, which is a good thing. Louisiana, Southeast Louisiana, Louisiana Skywatch, and others, I hope that you're okay. We still have these supercells up here, but they do seem to be weakening. But that doesn't mean they can't fire them up again, so yeah, please bookmark these sites, check them out several times a day. They are really ramping up their weather warfare. And all I can say is, if you haven't suffered any of the consequences of this, then may you never. May you never. And on that note, I'm just going to say good night and good luck. Ciao, guys. Oh, man.
Oh, we wouldn't do that. I told you wouldn't do shit. I said, he said, I'll send you a